Hi folks, I'm the Lost Mapper, and today is day 12 of the 30-day map challenge. Today's theme is South America, and I thought I would keep it a little bit simple today. What we're shooting for is a map that looks like this. So I already made this beforehand. We're going to recreate it. It's all the flags of South America, and basically each country is filled in with its flag, and we've got some call-out labels as well. So to start, we're going to head over to naturalearthdata.com. We're going to head to the download section, and the two things that I want to download is underneath cultural, I want to download the countries, and then back here I want to also download a raster image. We're going to go to this cross-blended hypsometric tints. And on that page, I'm going to grab the one at the bottom, the cross-blended hypso with relief, water, drains, and ocean bottom. So download the large one. That's almost 400 megabytes, so that'll take a little bit of time. The other thing I did in preparation was I went to the Wikipedia page for South America, and I went to each country and downloaded its flag. So over in QGIS, I have a project started. I'm going to open up my project home and, oh, no, I'm first going to move all the downloads over. So move these two files into my project. Here are all my flags that I mentioned before. And then if I refresh the browser, now I've got those files showing up. So I'm first going to go into countries and add that shape. And if we open up the attribute table for this one, I'm going to organize columns again. I'm going to deselect all by default. I'm going to choose type, sovereignty, name long, and continent, region, subregion, and region WB. All right, now I can see the main pieces that I am interested in. And there is a field called continent, and in here there's one called South America. Now, something I noticed as I was prepping for this episode is there is a section, if I zoom in here first, to South America. This was not showing up in my original map, and that is because it is, as far as natural earth data is concerned, the continent is, if I sort by feature name, where'd it go? Its continent is Europe. If we go to Google Maps, I could also go to OpenStreetMap. Any of those will do. If I search for Brazil, just to get into the general area. And then, so this is French Guiana. That's what Google Maps thinks it is. What if we go to OpenStreetMap and see what it thinks it is? We will look for Colombia, or sorry, Brazil. Yeah, cool. All right, this is listed as Guyane. So it's a little unclear what this is actually called and who it actually belongs to. And if we go to the Wikipedia page, if I go back here, there is French Guiana. So that's also listed here. Name in official languages is Guyane. So there's a place called Guyane. Okay, so South America. Cool. Still considered part of the Europe region and subregion. Sure, whatever. But now we have it as part of the South America continent. All right, now what I'd like to do is let us filter this layer, which means I need to toggle off editing. So I'm going to save my change, turn off editing, and I'm going to turn on the filter, and I'm going to filter by continent. Continent equals South America. Okay, 16 rows. Excellent. What is this? Okay, learned something else today, that whatever this is, it's part of a piece of South America. All right, it's going to be off the map, so I'm not going to worry about it too much, and we're still going to show its flag. So I'm going to head here. The other thing I'd like to do is add that TIFF. All right, and I'm going to move that to the bottom layer. Excellent. And so what I'd like to do is save the flag as a binary blob with each entry. Now, if I open up this attribute table and I turn on toggle edit mode and I hit new field, I don't actually have blob as a type. And that's because this is using a shapefile and it has a limited number of just these types that it can use. So what we really want to do is save this out, export it as a geo package. So let's choose our project. We're going to call this countries. And this is all good and well. All right, and then I'm going to remove the old one. Don't want that anymore. And notice now in here, we only, because we exported it while we had things filtered, if we open up the attributes table, there's only those filtered pieces now. So we've got 16. So now I can edit this table and I can make a new field, and I'm going to call this flag image. And I'm going to use a binary object or a blob and hit OK. And then what I can do is I want to organize the columns again, turn off most everything except for name long, and the continent and region information. And also our new field. Almost forgot that. Great. Now I can click on each of these. I get a little 3-dot button. I can then say I want to embed a file. I'm going to go to my project and to my images and pick each one. And this will likely be something I fast forward because it's a little bit boring to watch. All right, so the name here is not correct. I put in the name, or maybe they put the name as France. We're going to use, let's just use the official language one. So we'll call that this. All right, that is fixed. All right, so now they all have blobs that represent the flag image. I'm gonna save my changes and toggle editing off. Okay, now it's time to actually get the flags to show up inside of these areas. So we're gonna double click on the countries layer, head into Symbology, and I'm going to take the simple fill and remove the fill style so it's see-through, but we're going to keep the borders for now. And then I'm going to click add to add another type of symbol in there. And I'm going to switch to raster image fill. And I'm going to put that beneath the outline. All right, so in my episode on navigation, I had an expression that would allow you to use a binary blob to represent an image. So I'm going to copy that piece from that video. And then inside of here, where we would normally maybe specify the file manually, I'm going to click on this data control and edit the expression and use what I just copied, except that the field name is slightly different. It is flag image. Cool. Hit OK on that. And I'm going to hit OK again and see how that looks. And nothing is showing. Interesting. Oh, wait. Slowly but surely. Wonder why that is. They're also colors. They're not necessarily the image. So I wonder if this is because of the scaling. I'm going to go to image width and actually set that to 64 and hit OK on that. There we go. Okay. So now it's this tiled image of the country's flag. Something I learned is that the scale of these is going to change between this view and the print layout and the actual PNG that we export based on the DPI that we use. So this is not necessarily how it's going to look. And I thought it might also look cool if a little bit of that, the raster image underneath shows through. So what we're going to do is for this Symbology, we're going to open up the layer rendering and change the blending mode for the layer to overlay. And that will let it basically see through. There we go. So those are coming through. You can sort of see the mountains and such. I think what I'd like to do next is get some labels on here. So let's go back into this panel and open up labels. We're going to use single labels and we're going to use name long. And I'm going to use bold. And this time I'm going to use a shadow, a drop shadow of white to just help the name pop out a little bit more. Make the offset a little bit smaller and the blur radius a little bit smaller. Hit OK on that. And then we're going to use the label move tool to start moving these around. So let's put, it's once again going to ask for what ID to use, what primary key. We're going to use FID, which is there because we converted it to a geo package. So that's convenient. And we're going to move these around. It'll also help if we turn on the toggle display of unplaced labels, and then we can see ones that are not showing up because they don't have room. Okay, and of course those will be easier to see and understand if we enable the callout. So we'll head back into the label and turn on callouts. And I think I'm going to change the line style for the callout to be a dotted line, just so it's a little bit lighter. Cool. I think I'd also want to go back in there and also put a white drop shadow. Oh, wait, have I already done that? Labels, shadows, drop shadow. Oh, forgot an important piece. When it's white, you probably just want to choose normal rather than multiply. I guess white basically equates to 0. And if you multiply by 0, you get 0. And that's why you don't end up seeing anything. Now that we've just set it to normal, we can actually see the white underneath. There's a couple labels in here I need to fix up. I'm going to leave the print layout up to you. We've done those a few times already, so if you need a reference, feel free to go back either to my Getting Started with QGIS video or one of the previous 30-day map challenges. I think pretty much all of them I do a print layout, but I'm going to skip that today just to keep things a little bit shorter and simpler. All right, see you tomorrow.